not here to cut any corners with you all. I think blatant truths are where we are at in our walk in humanity. We deserve the blatant, raw, uncut truth. You can look in the media, you can listen to the radio, you can turn on television, and you will see blatancy everywhere you go. So it's as if we're accustomed to blatancy only when it's convenient for us. Yet when you speak to blatant truths of biblical spiritual truths, people get offended. They don't want it. They want to hear the childlike baby food rhetoric. They pick and choose what they're big enough to ingest. They're big enough to ingest all of the blatant truths of this life. They are big enough to project their blatant truths upon other people. But they're not big enough to ingest the blatant truths of their existence. They're not big enough to ingest the blatant truths of their reality. Yet I'm here to tell you that we are at a junction where blatant truths are necessary. They are paramount, and they are not conducive to any vertical. Jesus has been unalived at this point, blatantly. Throughout his entire walk, he was stalked. He was literally stalked. He was harassed. He was intentionally and premeditatively singled out to be stalked and harassed. At every turn, in whatever manner, he offered up gems to people that would grant them salvation, the salvation that they needed to overcome the burdens that were robbing them of the true essence of their creation. At every angle that he offered these gems to the people rejected them. Instead of aligning to the truth of what he said, they spent all of their time trying to find a fault. They were more enamored in the deceptive acts than they ever were in the love. They were pimping their own spiritual house, using it as a front to do as the wicked one would like them to do. You see, what we find here at this junction and during Jesus' walk would be a blatant reality that God would see, and he would send Jesus into the earth to have profound experiences to justify, to legitimize his thinking. What we see here is the same thing that happened when Adam was granted Eve. You see, when Adam was created and he's set in this garden and he's already created and he's pre-programmed to this reality, this simulation, what have you. And God says, we're going to see if this works out. He's created. All of his surroundings are created. What does he do? Without being led to, without being hand walked and picked, without being told in any way, Adam takes it upon himself and he stands in his creation and he names the animals within the kingdom that he has been given kingship over. And God says, this is great. I'm glad to see this. And because I see this, I can now justify creating woman for him. It was already in the plan. Man was not going to sit here without a mate. It would be no way for him to do so, or else he would not procreate. The whole idea was for him to procreate. But God needed to know that he would work out, that he would be able to ascend to the level that he needed to ascend to justify giving him such a mate. And in Adam taking it upon himself and standing in his creation without being handheld, without being told to do so, He takes it upon himself to begin doing what he was created to do, to name, to establish dominance in this environment. What we see during Jesus' walk is this same thing going on here. Follow me. The Sadducees, the Pharisees, the elders, the chief priests, and the people all together formed a system, God's system, in the name of God, a mimicry of God's hierarchy. That's where they get the idea for the system from, a mimicry of what God had already done. And yet the evil one has infiltrated it. He's infiltrated the people. The system he cannot infiltrate. He can only infiltrate the people that make the system come to life. He works through people. And in him working through the people that both manage the masses and the masses themselves that piggyback the direction from those in higher positions or that have dominance over the masses. They were infiltrated. And they had become programmed to the infiltration. What is the infiltration? The comforts. The capitalistic mindset of the system. It's no longer about doing the right thing. It will do the right thing if we can keep these comforts, if we can keep our job. But if we can't, we can bend the rules and we don't really have to do the right thing. We'll do what we need to do. And what we are seeing during Jesus' time is an example of the people becoming accustomed to this type of system and the benefits of the system so much that the evil one doesn't need to come out and proclaim war against Jesus. The people will do it on their own. They will wage war with Jesus and anybody else that threatens the new program that has been implemented by the wicked one.